What's up, Brian Northwicks here, and this is episode number 26 of the Business for Breakfast show. Now, if you look behind me, you're going to see a large sequence of things that are going to need to take place for you to be able to create traffic and generate traffic, to be able to generate leads, and then follow up to make the sale. So you do not want to miss this. All right, so if you're wondering where it is that you have to begin whenever creating a dynamic campaign funnel, you've got to be able to begin with the giveaway. If you start with the giveaway, everything else is built around that. So the first thing that I want to have, draw your attention to is the variations of the lead page. So we have a tutorial, we have a video series, and we have a case study. Now, when you provide the different kinds of learning elements for your market, you're going to be able to attract more people. Imagine having somebody who says, you know what, I do not like reading. Do you really think a PDF or an ebook is going to be captivating to them? What if you have somebody who says, I really don't enjoy going to live trainings. I want to see the recording, I want to see the video so I can watch it at my own pace. I got a million things going on. Well, a webinar wouldn't be the best thing for them, would they? So a video series might be what appeals to them. You want to have multiple variations is what I'm trying to get out of your lead page. When you can do that, you can again attract more of your market because people learn from different angles. Some people are auditory, some people are kinesthetic, some people are visual, and you want to be able to give them everything that they need so that you're not missing out on any part of your market. What happens after they opt in? Well, that's going to be what we call the liquidation offer or video sales letter, or something that we can actually give them more content, more value, that is complementing this lead page. So when you go into your day, when you're thinking, you're like, okay, what do I got to do? I've got to be able to create a lead page. I've got to be able to create all these things. Well, the first thing that we mentioned is the giveaway, right? Now, what can we complement that giveaway to? What can we add to more of that so that when the person opts in, they're going to be able to get that giveaway in their first email, right? They'll get it in their first email sent right away, but you want to be able to capture that lead. It's hot, it's right there, it's ready for you to give more value to. So when you can actually deliver by demonstrating that you can help them, you're going to have a much higher chance, a much higher opportunity for you to be able to close that person into your business or make a sale or whatever it is that you're promoting right now. Now, what happens after they go through that, the addition, right? That video sales letter or that tutorial, that addition to that giveaway, right? That extra piece of content. What happens is we want to take them through a process now. Now we want to be able to not only deposit them into the autoresponder, because this is what's going to happen with the majority of the people. Say, you're converting at 40% on your lead page. So 4 out of 10 people who see this are going to opt in. So then we're going to have a percentage of those people that are going to actually take the next step. So inside of this video sales letter, as you can see, I've also got 3 variations. Okay, you want to be able to have multiple testing opportunities so you can optimize your entire funnel. So we want to know, okay, well, which landing page is converting the highest? We want to know which sales letter is having the highest conversions, because what happens after they get to that video sales letter or that tutorial or whatever it is that we have in that spot, what happens is then we put them through the sales process. So anybody who's going to come through this middle part right here, this video sales letter, and takes action, the call to action inside of the video for us is, hey, look, you know what? Click the button below if you'd like to set up a free consultation, right? Or something similar to that. Then it takes them to a form. So inside this video sales letter, inside this long form copy, or inside of this middle part where I'm adding more value, I want to do what we call the takeaway method, where I literally say everything that I can do for you, and this is something that we encourage our clients and we teach our clients to do as well. Well, you want to be able to give them everything, but then you want to take it away. Okay, you want to take it away. You want to give them a reason to say, hold on, I might not be qualified for this, so I should not fill out this form. This allows you to work with your dream clients. This allows you to work with the people who are actually qualified to work with you. Doing this will save you a bunch of time and weed out all the knuckleheads. So after we take them through the form, it automatically sends them to a calendar where they can actually choose the best time for them. So this process could work for anything. It could work for if you're a fitness expert. It could work for if you're an affiliate marketer. It could work for if you are a beautician, if you're a photographer. It does not matter what business you're in, because the point of the matter is to get to qualified prospects who are asking you, who are coming to you, who are chasing you down, filling out the information and saying, hey, look, contact me. I would like to know more. If you could run through, say, 100 people each month, and you say you get 10 people to purchase your products or to, join your business or whatever it is that you're doing right now, would that be better or worse than having 20 people or 10 or 15 or 20 people say, hey, look, I want more, and then having 10 are people that actually purchase from you or join or are long-term customers. So imagine, you don't have to go and scour the world to have this big wide net out there to capture, the little baby fish. You don't need that, because all that's going to do is just run you wild. You're going to be looking at the end of the month like, wow, I just spoke to 1,000 people or 500 people in the month, and I got 5 sales, or I got 10 sales, or I acquired 2 clients or something like that. That is going to, that long term, that's not a long term strategy. Okay, I would love to condense the numbers. One thing that we've noticed is that if we have, say, 100 people that come through this process, that get all the way to the form, fill it out, and get to the Skype session where I actually meet with them one-on-one and I give them a ton of value. We break down their plans and processes and develop a new strategy. The amount of people, see, this is where people go wrong. They'll say, well, you're only getting 1 out of every 100 people to fill out that form. Well, it's true. It's true. It's maybe 2 out of 100, maybe 3 out of 100. It's really not more than 5% though of people who are going to be filling out all of this, going through this process so that I can contact them based off of their want for my business, okay, for what I have to offer. But let me ask you something. If you can make sure that those people that filled out that form are actually going to purchase and buy from you, wouldn't that be enough? So this is where you have to add those high-ticket products to your product line. No matter if you're not in charge of the products or if you're in full control of your business, you've got to be able to add high-ticket products, because if not, then this qualifying process is going to actually cost you money. We don't want it to cost you money. We want it to be where when you get through the close, when you actually close them into your business, to where if you're spending, say, $10 a lead and it takes 100 people to come there, that's $1,000 for that one customer. Now, if you aren't selling something that's higher than $1,000, you're not going to make any money, right? And it's going to be a reverse profitable situation. It's not going to be good for your business. So what we want to do is make sure that not only do you have the process in place, but you have the correct products to match the market. Now, if you're looking to not go through this process and kind of follow up and mainly focus on the email sequence, that's fine. It's a little bit more cost effective, but again, you're casting a wider net and you're not letting people who are really qualified, just super qualified people, know that this is the program for them. You're kind of making it for everybody, which is making it more for nobody. So when you get to the point of your business day where you're sitting here wondering, what do I have to do? What content do I have to create? Think about the giveaway. Think about your market first. And then think about the giveaway that you can give to them. Some valuable piece of content that they would love to know more about. Okay? Then create the process where you're going to have an additional piece of content, which we would call a video sales letter or liquidation offer, something like that, where we can actually sell something right here if you have a product that you could sell, something small, $7, $17, something like that. But if not, I use it just to help people get larger results. And then I say, hey, look, you know what? You want even more help? Why don't you spend 75 minutes with me and we'll go over your entire process and break it all down. This allows us to qualify our prospects. And when you qualify your prospects, you are giving yourself the opportunity to only work with the people that you want to work with, which is the best feeling in the world when you know you're going to wake up and have people who are going to stick around. They're going to be eager. They're going to be hungry. They're going to be passing your test so that you know that, hey, I'm ready, willing, and able to do what you're teaching me, to use your products, to go through the program so that I can get a larger result in my life, and I want to thank you for that. And it allows you to, when you add those high-ticket items, it also allows you to work with less people. So one thing that I love to do is I love to be able to really focus on that high end, the top 20% of where the people are at inside of my market, so that I can develop a very valuable giveaway for them that's going to attract them, because we don't want the bottom of the barrel. I mean, I hate to say it, you don't. In any industry, there's people that are time vampires. They're just there to just bleed you out of all your time, not purchase anything, not buy anything, just bleed you for your time. And that's where you can point those people to your free content online. You can point them to your blog, your website, things like that. But for people that are actually going to work with you, you want to develop and create the strategy that's going to attract those people. This process right here will do exactly that. Now, what do you do with all these emails, right? Well, the first thing, like I mentioned, is you got to be able to create the giveaway. Then you got to be able to create the additional content that we call a liquidation offer. And then we want to build out the email sequences, okay? So all this other stuff, the form, the calendar, the qualification call, all these things, that could be done after. That could be implemented after. So the first thing is create your giveaway. Second thing is create the liquidation offer, video sales letter, some form of additional content that you can, complement that giveaway. And then we want to build out the email series. So here, as you can see, we have our first initial indoctrination sequence. So this right here is going to be the indoc, okay? Indoctrination, okay? That's what these 3 emails are for. They're going to be able to tell people and show people what we're about, what they can expect, the things that we're going to be able to deliver to them in their email so that they know what to expect. It's crazy, but not a lot of people are doing the indoctrination sequence inside their email sequence. They're just kind of going right into the sales pitch and saying, hey, well, you opted in here, so you must know all about me, and I don't need to tell you anything, because if you want to learn, you could just go and Google me or go do this. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. It's best to be able to give them an indoctrination sequence that can, get them to know, like, and trust you even more. And let me ask you this, if you knew, like, when they go through the trailer, right, of a movie, it gets you to say, wow, this is going to be a great movie. This looks like something I would be interested in. This is basically your little trailer. You're giving them bits and pieces of things that they can expect throughout the time of them being on your list. This is going to help you with your open rates, I promise. So what happens after that? Well, we want to be able to segment that list, because not everybody's going to go back to your email, as much as we would like to believe that's true, and not everybody's going to click on whatever link or see whatever piece of content that you have in there. So what do? Well, we create a contingency. So that means that we have people who did not click and people who did click. The people who did click are going to get more information about what we have here. So the people who said, hey, look, I've been through your indoctrination sequence, I've seen the information in there, and I've clicked through to get more information. Let's give them more information then. Let's give them the things that they want, about your business. Maybe it's a one-on-one call. Maybe it's a product. Maybe it's some kind of sequence. We have like 4-day cash machine survey siphons, invisible offers. There's so many different, flash sales. There's a million different ways that we can go ahead and get these people who did not go through this process, right? They did not go through this process. That's why they're seeing these emails, okay? Anybody who purchases from you and you get the close does not get these emails. They're going to get put to an active buyers list where they can have a whole sequence of things that are prepared for buyers and people who have purchased from you, okay? Big difference in the way you talk to those 2 groups of people who have purchased and people who haven't. So after they get through this indoc sequence, if they clicked, they're going to get to a sequence that gives them more information. If they did not click, then we want to be able to take them to a series of re-engagement, being able to let them know, hey, look, well, okay, if you like this, right, which was the reason why they opted in, the very first giveaway, if you like this, then you're going to have to like this. So let's build on, right, this lead magnet. Whatever it is that you gave away, create more content based around that, okay? Now what happens if you get through the top one? Let's go through the top contingency, right? The people who did click on the indoctrination sequence to see your content, then we want to give them that related content. If they don't click, then we know that that topic that you chose was not relevant to them and they did not want to do that, because they've already shown that they're going to open your emails. Now they're saying that they're not going to click over here. Okay, well then we set up another contingency where it says basically, if they did not click, let's give them another topic, something else that's still related to this, but it's adjacent. It's something that is, it's related, but it's not the exact content, right? It's not going to cannibalize what you've given them. Then if they did not click, again, we go through the process and we think, okay, well, if they opted in for this, but they did not click, then obviously, and they did not take any action in this sequence, then let's give them another angle. Maybe we want to get them into a webinar. Maybe we want to get them, maybe they didn't have an opportunity to purchase through a discounted price. Now we want to maybe give them a discounted price with some kind of scarcity where it's a limited time, 4 days or 5 days or 3 days for them to make a decision to purchase, right? When you can implement this whole entire thing, so imagine we've gotten a lot of different dynamic sequences for your followers, for your leads to be able to go through so that no one is ever getting content that they do not want. When you can have this kind of process set up, you're set up for success. Okay, because the only thing that you have to focus on once you get this entire machine built out for you is going to be your traffic, right? It's going to be your traffic. So if you have traffic, how do you find the traffic? Well, this is one thing that we want to go through with our clients, which is going through specific topic headlines, okay? For each one of our lead magnets, we want to have a new headline, okay? A new headline. We want to be able to test these to see which one converts the highest. Then we want to be able to know what our target market is. We also want to know what the interests are of that target market. When you can have all this information really done for you or done with you, your mind, your stress, your level of awareness goes through the roof, your motivation goes through the roof, and your sales increase. So I just wanted to take the time out today and go through this process with you. I know if you've been following me for some time or you've seen my videos, you've seen the fact that this is what I love, right? This is what I love. I love running targeted traffic to multiple variations of a giveaway, putting them into a sequence where we can make some sales and get some clients, and then provide a follow-up that is going to provide additional value. So if you want any help with putting this together, find the link around this video and schedule your time with me today. You can also visit BrandonNorthwick.com. We'll spend 75 minutes together where we'll literally give you a 30,000 foot view of what you're doing right now, and we will paint out and strategize the best path to get you to that next level. So again, I want to thank you for taking your time out to watch this quick tutorial, and if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next episode. Take care.